I was a psychotherapist, and I was aware of the fact that even though I was a damn good psychotherapist, there were lots of people whose biochemistry had become their emotions. Their emotions had become their biochemistry, and all the psychotherapy in the world wasn't going to change that. But never having heard of a Paxil deficiency or a Prozac deficiency, and being the very pragmatic person that I am, it looked to me like nature provided every other species on the planet everything that they needed in order to be healthy and balanced, and it just didn't make any sense to me that nature hadn't done the same for humankind. So I started looking. I looked first at herbs, herbology. I looked at flower essences. And I looked at a lot of different natural solutions, nutrition and so forth, to emotional imbalances. And quite literally, a homeopathy book fell off into my lap. And I started reading it, and the hair on the back of my neck stood up. And I went, oh, I think maybe this is what I've been looking for. That was about 20 years ago. I studied and read on my own. I knew just enough to be dangerous, really, but used some low potencies on my clients and got some really good results. And resolved then that as soon as I could put together the means and had the freedom, that I would study homeopathic medicine. So in '96, I moved to London and went to University of Westminster and got a degree in complementary medicine and specialized in homeopathy. I do a lot of prevention education, but most people find their way to me when something is really out of balance. And I practice functional medicine in addition to homeopathy. So I look at blood chemistry, I look at lab work, but I look at it from a functional perspective, which is to say that if you narrow the normal lab ranges, you'll find that the really healthy people fall in the middle, and the sick people fall outside their lab range. And then there's these shoulders on either side that if you could address things, or if you would address issues while they were on those edges, you could prevent a lot of disease and illness. And you could treat and effectively cure a lot of symptoms that people have before they become heart disease or diabetes or other serious illnesses. When I can help a child in particular stay off of antibiotics, stay off of drugs for ADD, some behavioral issue, that's really the most fun. I also like treating animals because they respond so very quickly. The children do as well. And that's really where I get the most fun, because they respond so quickly and so profoundly. I mean, you can see it just in a matter of minutes that they are responding to a particular remedy. And sometimes, of course, if they are suffering from lifestyle illnesses, which a lot of children are these days, then we'll give them a homeopathic remedy and then change their diet, change their lifestyle, give mom and dad some parenting coaching, something along those lines, and we'll see the results relatively quickly. I love it. It's fun. Of course, the best medicine is no medicine. To stay well, Hippocrates said, let your medicine be your food and your food be your medicine. So preventative medicine is the most green, the most sustainable, and ideally Americans will move, the entire world will move back more to that natural wisdom that I think a lot of us have lost and hopefully has not died with our grandparents. But I also look at homeopathy, of course, as a very green form of medicine. A bottle of homeopathic medicine that was made 100 years ago could still be treating the world. So it's very sustainable in as much as there's not a lot of waste and doesn't take a lot of resources. But nutrition, obviously, is it's the source of most illness, malnutrition. And of course, in our country, we suffer from malnutrition not because we don't have enough to eat, but because we have too much and the wrong things to eat. And so a lot of my practice is just helping people to recognize that they have to take responsibility for their health, and B, that they can't expect their body to serve them if they don't serve their bodies with respect and dignity and giving it what it needs. You don't have to become a biologist. You don't have to be a biochemist. You don't have to be an A student in anatomy and physiology. But a basic understanding of how your body works is just so key to appreciating, if nothing else, appreciating and really truly honoring what our body, how it serves us, and what we can do to serve it, and gosh, what we're doing to cause problems. And the other thing, I'm going to get on my soapbox here, the other thing is that we have this demand for instantaneous gratification as part of our culture. And that's really what drives conventional medicine, that people have a symptom and they think that the symptom is a symptom of the disease, when in reality the symptom is your body doing what it's supposed to do. If I go to a gathering and somebody sneezes on me, and on the way home I have some stressful episode, a couple of days later I might start with a fever and a runny nose and a cough. And most Americans will run down to Walgreens and pick up a bottle of NyQuil to dry up the nose and stop the fever and stop the cough, when in reality the fever is to kill the germs, and the runny nose is to get rid of the germs, and the cough is to get rid of the mucus. So why would we stop those very natural, healthy things from happening? Only then to just basically say to our body, don't do that. And I believe that us doing that many, many times over the course of our lifetime is what ends up, ultimately results in these very serious chronic diseases now. That by stopping the body from getting rid of, from discharging, from cleaning itself out, we end up with disease material deeply embedded in our bodies, and that turns out as arthritis, diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, etc., these chronic illnesses that we have now that we don't really have to have. A real shift in paradigm from I'll just go to the doctor and he'll take care of me, he'll give me, or she will give me a pill, or she'll cut it out, or to this is my body and I know how it operates best, and if I will give it the food and the clean air and the clean water and the right rest and the right exercise, then it will serve me very well. And if I will support it, then it will just do what it needs to do. Give the body what it needs, it'll always go to health and balance.